the folly of the soulless cosmos, the most dreadful, the most unutterable, the most complete and suffocating horror is not, as the simple fool believes, the absence of God. No, the true soul-shattering terror is the necessity of it. I do not mean necessity as the preachers do as a path to joy or a balm for the sweet hereafter. I speak not of comfort. I speak of a grim, structural, and desperate need. I need a God, a primal mover, a source of law of the stark, cold, and screaming necessity, my own flickering sanity. For without him, without a mind behind the design, what am I to make of this? This life, this suffering, what framework, what calculus, what reason can I apply to the relentless, systematic, and needless pain I have endured? My mind, this logical, rational mind, demands a why. It searches for the pattern, the cause, the justice. If there is no God, there is no why. There is no justice. There is only the random, idiotic, and blind collision of matter. My suffering is not a test. My pain is not a refinement. It is a statistic. It is a pointless, mechanical, and needlessly cruel accident. It is a legacy of the void, a perverse calculus signifying nothing. And to the logical, rational mind, that the profound, absolute meaninglessness of its own torment is the final, paralyzing, and most dreadful of all horrors. This, then, is the true nature of the curse. This mind I possess. It is not a gift. It is my cross. It is the very instrument of my torture. It is a curse that does not allow me to fit in. It isolates me, a waking man in a world of somnambulists. I am a specter at their feast, watching them move with a simple animal confidence, their minds untroubled by the why. They do not see the screaming logical contradictions of their own existence. But I do, and it is a curse that allows me no peace, for it is not just my own suffering of which I am sentient. It is all of it. This mind is a raw, exposed nerve, a dreadful mirror reflecting the agony of others. I am cursed with a hypersentience, a grotesque and total empathy that forces me to feel the weight of a world that does not even know it is in pain. And so this accursed rational mind, trapped in this cell of suffering, looks outward. It looks beyond my own sepulchral heart, beyond the architects of ruin who crafted me, and it screams its one final question into the cold, indifferent cosmos. If there is no universal, no natural law, what then? What, in the name of all that is holy or unholy, are we doing here? Is this it? Is this the entire play? A fevered dream of matter? A brief, accidental, and chaotic spasm of chemistry on a wet, forgotten stone, hurtling through an endless black and idiotic void? A stage where ghouls devour their children, where love is a phantom, where straw men are built to be burned, and where the unwitnessed soul simply dissolves unseen into the meaningless dark? If there is no law, then this is the only answer. There is no hope, no pattern, no justice. There is only the abyss and the brief, frantic, and pointless gestures we make before we fall back into it. But, my mind, this same cursed, rational mind, it sees law, cannot help but see it. It is the only thing it sees. I look to the heavens, and I do not see chaos. I see calculus. I see the planets, those grand, silent orbs held in their majestic, predictable, and lawful orbits around the sun. I look to the very dust beneath my feet, and I do not see randomness. I see chemistry. I see the electrons, those invisible spirits, revolving around their nucleus in a dance so precise, so ordered, so utterly governed, that it forms the very fabric of the stone upon which I stand. I look to the blood in my own veins, and I do not see accident. I see biology. I see the very blueprints of our bodies, those sacred winding scrolls of DNA, operating with a ruthless, divine, and unwavering logic that dictates the very color of our eyes and the beating of our hearts. And I look into the heart of man, and I see the craving for it, the very concept of justice, the yearning for truth. Where did this come from? Why does the logical, rational mind demand meaning, if meaning is not a fundamental property of the cosmos? These patterns, these systems, these laws, these are our sciences, these are our humanities. This is the entire grand and noble edifice of human thought, built upon the single foundational assumption that the universe is not a lie. And here at last is the final, dreadful, sanity-shattering paradox. If there is no God, if there is no source, no mind, no lawgiver, then where did the law come from? If there is no God, then this breathtaking, intricate, and mathematical order is an illusion. It is a phantom. It is a trick. It is the grandest, most cruel, and most colossal deceit in the history of existence. It means that every scientist, every philosopher, every artist, every thinker who ever lived is a madman. It means all our noble disciplines, all our searching, all our knowledge. It is all just Alice in Wonderland man's folly. It is a child tracing a pattern in the frost on a window pane, believing he is deciphering the very mind of the cosmos, when in fact he is only tracing the random, meaningless and dying breath of the cold. This is the precipice, this is the sea of madness. And so the modern charlatans, the soulless men of science, they offer their own pathetic and incomplete explanation. It is psychology, they hiss. They claim all these proofs of God, this desperate logical yearning, are but a symptom of my insanity. But their psychology has no explanation for the soul. It is not a complete portrait of the human. It is a ghastly medical diagram. It excludes the soul. It reduces the why to a what. It sees only the synapses in the brain, the twitching of the flesh, and is blind, utterly, fatally blind, to the spirit that animates it. Where psychology is a diagram, philosophy includes the human soul. It accepts as its first premise that the sentient I is a result of God, the primal mover, the beginning of it all. And this is the final inescapable truth. Without a primal mover that set all things into motion, there is no beginning. And if there is no beginning, there is no being and becoming. There is no progress. There is no sense of accomplishment. There is no narrative. There is no vector. There is no meaning. There is no way to plot a course out of the abyss. There is no way out of the sea of madness. There is no sanctuary, no solace, and no peace of the kingdom of heaven, because there is no direction in which to sail. It is all folly, human existence. Without that source, that primal mover, that God, we are not just lost. We are not just suffering. We are static. We are a failed, frozen, meaningless experiment, a cosmic, unhallowed, and terminal madness. It is all and forever folly.